Hi, Tammy Davis, and I am really excited to be here because I'm looking forward to sharing this information because, as the title of the video says, there's a reason for everything. And the bottom line is, the more I work with individuals and they come to me with various concerns, the more I begin to research the questions that come to my mind, not the questions that they pose, but the questions that come to my mind. And the biggest question for me is, why can't I eat foods with oxalates? Okay, why can't I eat foods with histamine? You know, why do I have to eat a restricted diet? These are concerns that I look for, because to me, if we have these foods available to us, then it doesn't make sense to say that we have to eliminate them. Now, before anybody gets worked up and tries to say, well, eliminating these foods creates ease as opposed to discomfort, I completely understand and respect that. The fact is that I want to get underneath that, because that is not adequate, in my opinion. From what I've determined with all the work that I'm putting into the book that I'm writing, the body is beautifully designed to take care of itself, to maintain balance, keep itself clean, and be healthy. I mean, we are equipped for that. At the same time, we've created a world that has really promoted vulnerability in the human body. And we can't change the way the world is right now. That doesn't say don't go be an activist and, make a stand for what you believe in. But the fact is we have to start somewhere, and we can't be holding our breath waiting for something to change before we actually help ourselves. So like I said, when I go and do research, it stems from people contacting me helping people, and listening to their concerns, and then finding out why. You know, I've always been a need-to-know kind of girl. I've always wanted to know why. And throughout my years in various trainings, one of the things I was always told is you never want to ask the question why, because it makes you want to look in the past. But in this case, I need to know why. I need to know why the body cannot eat certain foods, why the body has to be eliminated. I've already determined that with gluten, when you have a gluten intolerance, and you find relief with that, that's already indicative of a chronic stress reaction occurring. And when that's happening, the digestive system is altered as a result. It does not mean the body is not working. It means the system has been adjusted for survival. Now, you may say that, well, I'm just sitting at my desk and I've got high blood pressure and I can't eat gluten. Well, okay, I understand that you're not in a survival mode, so to speak, but your body thinks it is. And here's really captivating information that I've come upon that I wanted to share here, that I'm actually putting into the book as well. But it's also going to begin to highlight an additional way to actually restore balance to the system, actually help the body do what it's designed to do. Guys, we've created this world that has set us up for vulnerability. This is not to say that the body is a party of one and we don't need anyone or anything else. We need to be able to eat, okay? By restricting our diets, so much so that, and then again, that's not even a guarantee. And I have pissed more people off than I can count when they contact me with what kind of diet they should go on. I don't promote a low histamine diet. I don't promote a low oxalate diet. I don't promote a low salicylate diet. I don't promote a low carbohydrate diet. I don't promote any of those. I say eat what you can. Eat the foods that make you feel good. Now, some of you might go, well, if I eat junk food, I feel really good. Well, okay, let's be responsible here, okay? A little bit of junk food as an indulgence is great, but let's be responsible about the kinds of foods that we're eating. And and I get sarcasm. I'm real good at it. At the same time, You want to eat foods that allow your body to feel comfortable, allow ease. This is what I'm getting at, okay? So there's a lot of lists out there for low histamine, for example, and not all of them are how do I want to say that? Not everyone are, not one diet is good for everyone, because some people don't have a reaction, which then tells me, well, maybe it's something else. So now we go into the low oxalate diet. Well, again, you know, some of it works for some people, but they don't always get the full result. And some foods make people feel okay and other ones don't. That's because there's a lot of crossover here. The same thing with salicylates. And so my point to all of this is the symptoms that people are experiencing, it could be oxalates, it could be histamine, it could be salicylates, it could be carbohydrates, it could be or it could be protein, because gluten is a protein. So it could be any number of chemicals that would be contributing to your discomfort, because all of them can cause insomnia. All of them are related to irritability and pain. So which one is it? We can try all kinds of diets, and this is where people are becoming really, really frustrated. So if we look at it from this angle, that what you are having, what's actually happening is an immune reaction, okay? It's an immune reaction. Oxalates, for as, you know, much as people don't like them, oxalate is found throughout nature. Yes, it's in plants, it's in animals, and it's in us. We actually make our own oxalates. If we are not eliminating oxalates, that means there's something not working properly. So yet one more question, what's going on that would inhibit the elimination, or why are our oxalate levels so high? Well, with that particular question, we've come to find out that recent research is uncovering the fact that oxalates are used to promote the production of phagocytes, which is part of the immune system, in order to eliminate foreign bodies from our system. Now, there's yet another immune reaction. And if you have high oxalate levels, you have an immune response going on. I cannot get into specifics here, because why one person has high oxalate levels and another person does could vary, because there's many genes involved, and yet at the same time, oxalate is the byproduct of hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide is needed by the body, as is peroxynitrite, which is well known in the world of methylation, of being a form of oxidative stress. And we have this really negative relationship with oxidative stress and peroxynitrite, but yet these all have purpose. All of them have a purpose, as does histamine. The body makes its own histamine because it is part of the immune system, as is peroxynitrite, and so is hydrogen peroxide. The salicylates are metabolized into salicylic acid, which means we produce our own aspirin, guys. And if we're eating foods high in salicylates and we're experiencing negative symptoms, then that says that we are not breaking these things down properly. We have higher levels of salicylic acid in our body. Now, this is where I say everything in moderation, okay? Because, or for that matter, less is more. So this is going to take us back into, well, if I monitor the types of salicylate foods that I eat, then I can stabilize my salicylic acid production. You're absolutely correct. There's no question about that. And at the same time, this is why too much peroxynitrite is an oxidative stress. Too much oxalates create oxidative stress. Hydrogen, so there's a reason for everything. We need a peroxynitrite, we need all of these chemicals for something, but higher levels become toxic to the system. And this is where I say the world that we live in is creating such an imbalance in the body that it's under pressure, it's under stress. And this is, to me, the reason why we have all of these health issues. It's the stress response. It's the body's reaction to the external world, and it's overproducing the chemicals that's needed to protect itself. Okay, so we have an immune reaction happening. How do you quiet that? That depends on your system. This is where, I can help you, or if you can at least begin to break it down, you might actually begin to find ways to begin to stabilize your immune system. But it's not looking at which chemical is causing your discomfort. Let's just look at it this way. Every single one of them is causing you discomfort. And you can't eliminate all foods from your diet. Years ago, I was told I had a sugar allergy. Well, since that time, I've done an awful lot of coursework as well as continued research. And carbohydrate is yet another word for sugar. And maybe somebody was trying to tell me that I should go on a low-carb diet, but I didn't. I chose not to. I chose to work with my system. And of course, that does include the essential oils. Which oils do I use? Well, that changes depending on what I've got going on. I'm quite familiar with my family history, and I'm also familiar with, you know, the neurochemistry and the digestive system. Those are my primary focus. Digestive system, stabilizing my digestive system, calming the immune system, not suppressing it, stabilizing it, and encouraging a balanced production of neurochemistry. It may have been years ago that I was using oils, or I would select an oil that have a specific effect on certain brain chemicals. I don't have to do that any longer. And that's one of the big cautions that I have for many people. If you're going to begin including essential oils, or if you already are, please know the types of chemistry that they influence, whether it be serotonin or dopamine. Too much serotonin can actually create psychoses. It can create a lot of agitation. So, you know, serotonin being our happy neurotransmitter, and I know a lot of children who are being placed on antidepressants because of attention deficit and or primarily autism as well, because of their anxiety levels. They're being placed on some of these SSRIs. But the fact is again, autism is not unlike anything else. It's all on a spectrum, and you can do too much. You can promote too many chemicals. So the oils have the same effect. And an oil is a chemical, just like a medication, just like your food. So regulating how you do things and understanding that these things that you're trying to eliminate from your diet may have some improvement. Oh, this is too dark. I hope I may have some improvement, but for the interim. But the fact is, we have to work with the whole system if you ultimately want to experience wellness. I mentioned also, maybe this was the third take, so maybe I didn't mention it in this one, so forgive me. Cholesterol. No, I didn't mention it in this one, now that I think about it. There's cholesterol sensitivity, in addition to the glucose intolerance. Glucose is something our body produces, obviously, from the foods that we eat. Cholesterol is something the body produces, as well as gets from the foods that we eat. But what I've also discovered is we can have a cholesterol sensitivity, and if it's not too high where it warrants medication, but at the same time you're experiencing something along the same lines as a histamine reaction, consider that you are actually having an allergic reaction to your own cholesterol because it's not being used. I'm very familiar with estrogen sensitivity. Again, estrogen sensitivity is going to affect this genetic complex that is going to activate the production of peroxynitrite and hydrogen peroxide and oxalates. So if you have high estrogen levels, then you're going to want to reduce your exposure to xenoestrogens and phytoestrogens until you can get the hormonal system stabilized. Doing so through improvement of the digestive system and the assimilation of nutrients at the cell level. Again, essential oils are necessary. Without question, given the world that we live in, they are absolutely necessary. They are a chemical, like I said, like everything else, and they have the ability to affect the way the genes are expressing themselves and improving the uptake of nutrition. They do not heal the body, but they improve the function of the body. They give the body a chance to do what it's designed to do. They do not take the place of medications, but they, again, help the body do what it's designed to do. They actually help to restore balance to the body. But what those oils are depends on your system. This is the reason why I have a personalized aromatherapy program where I can walk you through suggestions, as well as, I can also do custom work for you. Or if you're already using oils but would like a more personalized touch as far as to how you could use them, I have that as well. So, yeah, that's a lot of information. I feel like I spoke really fast, but I really hope that this gives you some idea that there is a reason for everything. There's a reason for cholesterol. We just need to be able to use it. If we're not using it, which goes into hormonal production, then we find, yes, we can find hardening of the arteries, but if it's not that elevated, okay, keep it. And before I close, I want to say, let's just suppose you're one of these people who is doing what they can to reduce animal products in their life. Okay, so you're not eating or you're not consuming a large number of animal products because you're trying to reduce your cholesterol intake. Okay, that's great. Again, I'm not advocating for any kind of diet here. I'm just saying that if this is something that you're doing, so you're eating minimal amounts of cholesterol, foods with cholesterol in them, and you're eating other foods such as your fruits and your vegetables and your nuts and so forth, yet you still have an elevated cholesterol level, which I've seen this on blood tests, you're looking at, and you're having other symptoms, you're looking at a potential cholesterol sensitivity, or you're looking at an estrogen sensitivity, because cholesterol is needed for the production of hormones, among other things. So again, that goes to say that it's not being used appropriately in a number of ways. So, and again, with estrogen, that just means it's not being used throughout the system. And estrogen has been linked to a highly active immune reaction and is a potential, I guess, connection to autoimmune disorders. So there's a lot happening here, and we're also seeing a high level of autoimmune disorders and so forth. So again, a lot of information, and it's because it's exciting to me because we have opportunities here. Disease means lack of ease. Disorder means lack of order. Discomfort means lack of comfort. And when we look at it from that perspective, that means we have the ability to restore ease, order, and comfort to our bodies. It doesn't mean that we have to exclude the medical world. It means that we need to learn to work with the medical world and restore balance to the system so the body can do what it's designed to do for you. So let me know if you have any questions. I appreciate you watching. And yeah, if I can help you in any way, by all means, let me know. Synergessence.com or Tammy at Synergessence.com. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Bye now.